We're back to She-Hulk, a series I know I'm behind on, as well as almost every single series I'm reviewing. Actually, I'm pretty sure I am behind on every single series I'm reviewing, which is only 4, so it's not that many, but yeah, I am behind. We're on issue 13, even though issue 14 came out a few days ago. Issue 13 has a cover of She-Hulk holding Hellcat. And inside, we start with a lunch friend date between Hellcat and She-Hulk, where Hellcat is trying to pry her friend about her feelings about Jack, as well as some chit-chat on if she's seeing somebody else as of late, as well as what she's been doing, what he's been doing, etc. When Hellcat asks if she is seeing somebody else, we get a flashback to a recent fight between She-Hulk and the Man in Blue, which seems to be a setup for a possible love triangle for She-Hulk, Jack of Hearts, and the Man in Blue. We do get a name for this issue, but we're not there yet. This Man in Blue just ironically walks past the window where they're seated in the cafe, to which Jen goes after him without Hellcat. However, we learn that this isn't just luck, as when she gets up to him, he is wearing a suit trying to impress her, which implies, yeah, that was an intentional walk by, and knew she would see him. And Jen threatens to arrest him, however, he argues that he would just run away again and escape. Which does make sense considering their history of fighting. He always gets away, even if Jen wins sometimes. And he just wants to talk. So she humors him, saying that she'll hear what he has to say, where we get some flirty vibes as they link arms to walk in the park. Where Jen asks his name, who says his name is the Scoundrel, but his real name is Nicolas. Jen asks if he's a spy or a terrorist, but he says no to both, which is good, especially the latter one. I don't think I want to see She-Hulk flirt with a terrorist. I'm good if she flirts with a spy, just not a terrorist. He says he's just a thief, like Catwoman or a Black Cat, or any other thief that flirts with a hero. Which, well, yes, is a stereotype like I just went over. I do appreciate they do a spin on it here with having the thief be a man and have She-Hulk be the hero. It is different and is slightly a change of dynamics, as there is a love triangle between two men and a woman, not two women and a man, like it was for Mary Jane, Spider-Man, and Black Cat. It still is a similar dynamic, but it is slightly different. Also, Jack is a superhero, unlike Mary Jane, who is a civilian character, so it makes it also slightly different in that way. He also is well aware that she left Hellcat behind to chase Nick, and Nick says that he already knows that Jen called the Fantastic Four in secret to come help her with him. And this whole humoring him to talk was actually just her trying to make time for the team to show up. However, before they can fight or the Fantastic Four can even show up, a plane just randomly shows up and grabs Nick and they get away, as She-Hulk is left very, very confused as to what the hell just happened. I also know that even though I haven't read it yet, he plays a very big part in next issue, this plot, as he is on the cover. He also officially has a wiki and a comic book Vine character page, which is pretty big. Not really. Also, I just realized I said comic book Vine. It's comic Vine, not comic book Vine. I should know this. I'm on there all the time. She-Hulk gets back to her office where Rocket Racer, Spider-Woman, Vulture, and etc. are all in the waiting room, where we see that Rocket Racer is singing that annoys She-Hulk so much that when she tells Andy, that being the awesome android, to send them in one at a time, make sure not to send him in. She hates his singing that much. Before anything can happen, Mallory Books, her boss, starts to yell at her for being late, unaware she was fighting a thief. Jen asks Mallory why it is that she changed from no capes that were allowed to all capes as being their clients. Mallory explains to Jen that Jen brought an opportunity for them to go into superhuman law, that it's untapped potential that may see it as being a touchy subject, as, well, it is, but it also can have volume in that it can bring more clients to them if no one else is in the business of superhuman law. But Jen is, however, overworked because there are so many clients. When she said working with superhumans, she didn't mean every single one of them. And I don't know if she means overworked from just being a hero and a lawyer, or being just a lawyer. Or she means everything. Jack being a lawyer, being a friend, being a superhero, etc. And she does tell Mallory that she'll do it, however, she expects a raise as it's more and more work. Which I have to say I really like because I think it shows that Jen has a very strong work ethic and is very, very good when it comes down to not letting people walk all over her, which I think Mallory, well, it does. I like the character of Mallory. She's very interesting to me, but she definitely does walk over Jen a lot. Or tries to. Mallory, of course, has to agree as Jen is the only superhero lawyer they have. Because, well, Daredevil isn't an open superhero, as in he doesn't tell people he's Daredevil yet. Unless you read that shirt that says, I'm not Daredevil, which I love, but also some people really hated. After work, Jen comes home to find Jack just levitating off the ground in the living room, as her radiation fever goes off the charts. Jack explains everything is fine. He was consuming radiation from a wasteland to help people. And not to worry, he won't touch her or come too close to her. Jen warms up some leftover dinners for them to have, as they talk about their lives. Jack discusses how he feels like maybe he's over being a student and doesn't know if he really wants to keep going back to school. As well, he wanted to at first, he feels like he's a little too old for that. And the comic ends with a promise of a date between the two of them, as Jack flies up to the sun to dispose of the radiation he got from the wasteland. This issue, in my opinion, is very strong, not just for She-Hulk, but her supporting cast. Very strong for her supporting cast. Nicolas, Jack, Mallory, even Hellcat, who's not necessarily a supporting character in this series, but she definitely is a guest character that shows up quite a bit. I am very interested in the character of Nicolas, I will admit that, even if I don't know how I feel about having a love triangle, as that is very stereotypical. But they do seem to be going in a different direction, and I do like having She-Hulk be viewed as important as other characters who typically get the love triangle treatment. That by Marvel. Even if I personally am not a huge fan of love triangles, there are certain ones I do like. For example, the Mary Jane, Black Cat, and Spider-Man one, I do like that. However, there are other ones like Lana Lang, Superman, Lois Lane, where I personally am just like, no, Superman and Lois Lane go together. Get the hell over here, Lana. No hate to Lana. I do like Lana as a character, but I don't like her with Superman. I do like her as Steel, though. I did like that relationship. And I want to see more of it. I personally think between Jack and Nicolas, Jack is the obvious choice for She-Hulk. However, next issue is focusing a lot more on Nicolas, so I am curious if I will change my mind. But regardless, that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!